Hello everybody. Today's video is hopefully going to answer some of the most frequently asked questions I've been receiving lately. So many things to cover. I'm going to try to do this quickly and hope to be a reliable source of information for you, even on the internet. So you may have heard this one. Pfizer has released its findings from their trial in children from ages 5 to 11 for their COVID vaccine. They had 2,268 children enrolled. They used a 10 microgram dose and administered it 21 days apart. This was a very successful study, and they did find they were able to produce neutralizing antibodies and with minimal side effects. Side effects were even better than older kids and adults. So that's pretty cool. Now, as you know, none of this is immediate. We as pediatricians cannot use vaccine stock that we already have off-label just because we've heard this study went well. Everything still has to go through the normal channels, but we're optimistic that the age 5 to 11 Pfizer product for COVID-19 vaccines will be approved. Not immediately, but eventually. It's not gonna be a year, it's not gonna be multiple months, maybe 1 month, we don't know. Hopefully by Halloween, maybe, we're hoping. Another question lately has been the use of a booster vaccine, also the Pfizer product. And as you may remember, last week, the FDA had approved, sort of a preliminary approval, for a third booster dose for 65 years and up, for people with high risk of getting severe disease from COVID, and for occupational hazards such as healthcare workers. Well then, brand new breaking news today, Thursday, September 23rd, the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices at the CDC has really wrestled with all these questions, and they have come up with approval for the booster dose Pfizer product for 65 years and above. That was an agreement. Certain persons with high-risk conditions, there'll be more details to follow. Residents of long-term care facilities, but they did not approve the third dose, the booster dose, for high-risk occupational people like healthcare providers. So that is very interesting. Other updates, we do have to obtain written parental consent if we're administering the COVID vaccine under the emergency use authorization and not the full approval. So for example, the current Pfizer product that's got emergency use authorization down to age 12, it's the full adult dose. We've been doing this for a while now. We do have to get written parental consent for that. But if it's got full FDA approval, as in the 16-year and above, we do not have to get written consent for that. Although we've been doing it under 18 anyway, anybody under 18, just to be on the safe side. But that's the technical answer to that. What else? Oh, ivermectin's very popular. So guys, good grief. Ivermectin has never been found to have any antiviral properties, particularly related to COVID-19. It is not FDA approved. It has not been adequately studied. There can be dangerous side effects, particularly when we see people using animal products of ivermectin, or when they're using a topical preparation of ivermectin and they're taking it orally. Guys, this is just crazy. Wait till the studies are finished. Wait till there's a proven benefit. There's no proven benefit, and there could be some serious dangerous side effects. So don't be foolish. That's just foolish. Another question we're getting all the time now on the phones, because it's getting tricky with the kids back in school. If your child had a known exposure, remember what that is? Greater than 15 minutes of contact, no masks, within 6 feet. The 15 minutes just has to be within a 24-hour time period. That counts as an exposure. If then you hear that person tested positive for COVID, then that child or adult, whoever, needs to be tested. Here's the tricky part. You can't test 5 minutes after you're around somebody with COVID-19 because you're not going to have the infection yet. You're not going to show up positive on a test. Even if you did happen to have the very beginnings of the infection, it's not enough to show up on the test. So if you have symptoms after an exposure, you have runny nose, cough, fever, headaches, achy, that sort of thing, well, absolutely, you can be tested that day when you have symptoms. But what if you were exposed and you're completely asymptomatic? Well, then you need to wait until it's been 4 or 5 days after that last exposure. And here's the important part. You have to quarantine during those days. And this is what can mess us up for school, which is why we want to keep those masks on, because you don't have that mandatory quarantine time if everyone involved was masked. So universal masking works. Parents' choice, individual children with, individual children without the masking does not work, because your mask protects me and my mask protects you. And it never happens that when you leave it up to the children at a school day that they're just going to automatically leave their masks on. If we, the grown-ups who are supposed to have enough intelligence and ability to look at the numbers and data, don't enforce the mask rules. So for now, everyone 12 and up is available to get the COVID-19 vaccine, and I would highly recommend it. It is safe. It is effective, even against the current Delta variants. Highly recommending indoor masking, especially in states with lower vaccine levels. And I'm coming to you from North Carolina. And in fact, the county in my state that's 99th out of 100 for vaccine percentages. So sad and nerve-wracking. So I just want to encourage everyone, without being mean or bossy, but just because I care about you and I care about your children, please get vaccinated. All 3 available vaccines are safe, and proven effective. I would just really encourage you. We have them available at so many private practices, hospital-owned practices, health departments, vaccine clinics. They're all over the place. They're free and they're available. Please do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your neighbors. Do it for everyone that you're around at your church and anybody you're around that you could accidentally spread it to if you weren't protected yourself. Do it to keep yourself out of the hospital and the intensive care unit. Our vents are full, guys, in the ICU. We really need to cut down on hospital admissions and ICU admissions and obviously deaths. So please get the vaccine, mask when you're indoors, and I hope these quick recent updates you found helpful. Thanks.